Three, two, one, go.
What's up, Fackers? We are back with our Fantasy and Chill 101, counting on the top 101 fantasy football players for the 2020 season. Number 71 on the countdown is wide receiver Jarvis Landry of the Cleveland Browns.
Bless him.
He is our 27th ranked wide receiver. Last year, he finished as wide receiver number 15. Give his stats last year, he had 83 catches for 1,174 yards and 6 touchdowns on 138 targets. He scored 199.9 fantasy points and an average of 12.5 points per game. So a few little notes about Landry's season last year. He had a career high in yards and a career high in yards per reception. The big thing going into Cleveland last year, they were the hype machine. Got Baker. They got OBJ there for his first year. He actually out-targeted OBJ last season. Okay, so he was the better wide receiver. He was more productive. He had more targets. And whenever you think of Jarvis Landry, I always think of just like one word, solid. He is
Yep.
the definition of a solid wide receiver. He now has 5 consecutive seasons where he finished as a top 18 wide receiver.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking too. So I was looking at his just career stats, and if you go back, excluding his rookie year, the lowest amount of targets he's had is 131 throughout the entire season, and that's still around 8 targets per game. And he's always had around 1,000 yards a season. And yeah, he's done this, with OBJ, without OBJ when he was without OBJ in Cleveland, then without a number one in Miami.
He was a monster in Miami.
Yeah, he was basically the guy in Miami. So yeah, his receptions and targets have kind of gone down since he moved to Cleveland. But like you said, last year his yardage actually went up. He had the career high. He's not going to be a guy that scores you a lot of touchdowns. He had 6 last year, and 9 is his highest he's ever had. But he's a PPR monster.
PPR, half PPR. He's a great guy to have. And just like you said, he's never going to score a bunch of touchdowns. He's also not going to have these big 30-point weeks that you see out of these elite wide receivers. But what you're going to do is you're going to look up at the end of the season, and he's going to be right there as at least a wide receiver 2 in that great group of receivers. He quietly goes out, he gets double-digit points every game, double-digit targets, close to double-digit receptions. And he's going to be solid for you all year. And especially, do you have his ADP number up?
Yeah, it's so hard to find ADPs now because every website's different. But when I saw it, it was around 60 to 70.
Yeah, and that's great value, I feel like.
Yeah, if I can get him in the 6th round, or mid-6, possibly if he drops to the 7th, that's insane value. Yeah, if I can get him around there, that's a good you could put him as your wide receiver 2 and not be concerned about it. I think.
Yeah, you'd be fine with that. And where I have him ranked number 71 is very conservative. There's a lot of guys I put in front of him I think could explode and be those top 20 guys. A lot of those receivers I have in front of him are not going to perform and are going to finish lower than him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you said, if you go running back heavy early, this is a wide receiver you can get in that 6th round once you've drafted 3 or 4 running backs. And like you said, you put this guy as wide receiver 2, you're going to feel good about that. You're never going to have to worry.
Yeah. And then your flex, I guess you can go for one of those higher upside guys if you wanted to as a wide receiver. But you drafted him last year, right?
No, I did not.
Oh, maybe that was 2 years ago. What round did he go last year?
He went in the 6th round, middle of the 6th last year.
On a 10 team. Okay, yeah. So he went in the middle of the 6th last year in our 10 team, and that's going based off his 2018 performance, which he had 200 less yards, 2 less receptions, 2 less touchdowns. So he's going around the same spot, I guess, but he performed better than he did in 2018.
He just has that stigma around him. Like I said, he's just not flashy. You don't think of him as this guy that's gonna win you matchups and score a bunch of points.
I mean, he's not gonna
lose you a matchup. He's not gonna go out there and put up a 2.
Yeah.
Or a 3 or something like that.
He's gonna get you, with those. If he gets you 4 receptions, that's already 2 points, 4 points, depending on what you're playing. So you got a solid baseline with him. But I guess I'll talk about some concerns. Possibly is he is coming off a hip surgery, which is like his first major injury. And he did the surgery in the offseason, but yeah, it's his first, I guess, injury you could be concerned about. And also, you got Hooper coming in there now, which you know, I don't know if you think he's going to steal. I don't think he's going to steal targets away from Landry. If anything, I think he's going to steal targets away from OBJ.
I think there will be enough to go around between those three. If you think OBJ, Landry, and Hooper.
Yeah, well, because so 2 years ago when OBJ came in, I don't know if you said, but I was concerned because I was like, okay, well, there's not enough guys or there's not enough targets to go around for everyone. You had Njoku there, OBJ, Chubb, and Duke Johnson. I don't know if Chubb was there yet. Yeah, you had Duke Johnson
uh,
and
the
Landry
rookie.
still performed. So OBJ was the one that kind of fell off a little bit.
And you figure the Browns, I mean, they got to be better this year, especially on offense. They had so many games last year
We
where they
say
just
that
didn't do
every year
shit.
though. We
Yeah,
say the
but
Browns got to
God,
be
you
better.
Baker going into year 3, hopefully he'll get his shit together.
Uh,
And I, if he can get that connect, he already, I feel like, has a pretty good connection with Landry. Should get a better connection going with OBJ. This should be an offense primed to support two stud receivers, I feel like.
yeah, and well, there was some talks of OBJ actually getting traded in the offseason. I don't know if those have kind of fizzled off or not, but
I never really bought that.
yeah. I mean, if he does get traded, Landry already proved he can do it by himself, like in Miami, in Cleveland. So I don't know if I'd be higher on him or lower on him if OBJ got traded. I don't know. I don't know if it changes much.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we've said just about everything you can about him. Like I said, I'd be ecstatic if I could get him in that 6th to 7th as my wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, even as a flex. That'd be amazing.
Oh yeah,
And it's kind of funny because little tease for our next video. The
yeah.
next guy we're doing
This
is
is
the complete
complete opposite.
opposite, just about. So if you want to hear who that is, tune into the next video. But our number 71 wide receiver, as solid as you can get, Jarvis Landry. He is our 20. Where did they go? 27th ranked 27th ranked wide receiver, number 71 overall. Yeah.
Out.